Hello everyone, peopledud here, and welcome back for some more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. So in the last episode, the first section of the trial kind of ended in a little bit of chaos, but now we're going to be heading straight back in for the second section. So without any further ado, let's get to it. Sorry, Edgeworth. I didn't mean to get you into trouble. Don't worry about it. This is my problem, not yours.
Yeah. Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, yeah, I guess I am. I'll come back later.
Oh, Detective Gumshoe, what is it?
You got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run around while on duty. And to top it off, you call me here, and I've seen happy people at funerals.
I take it Lana's having you run errands again.
And let me tell you, this is the last time, pal. Here, she asked me to give you this.
Evidence law. Edgeworth was talking about this just the other day. I'm sure you know the two rules of evidence law, don't you, Wright? Rule number 1, no evidence shall be shown without approval of the police department. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Really? Study some evidence law? Really?
And the chief prosecutor also wanted me to give you a message.
A message?
And she said if you're planning on taking him on, you're gonna need this book.
Him. I guess I'll need to give this book a thorough read. Yeah, let's do that now. Huh? Alright.
It doesn't look like that book will do you any good, though. You know, all that's left now is the chief prosecutor's sentence.
That's where you're wrong, Detective.
What?
Haven't you figured it out yet? While I'm still sitting at the prosecutor's seat, despite all the allegations being thrown at me.
Mr. Edgeworth.
The real trial today hasn't begun yet.
What? What else is there left to do? Your credibility's been all but ruined with the forged evidence that you were unaware of. Sky found out, and she was unwittingly caused the man to death. And now you're telling me that you want to do more? You've got to be kidding me here, pal.
You're missing the point, Detective. Lana didn't murder Detective Goodman. She merely struck a knife into his dead body. That means the real killer is still out there.
What?
And we're going to expose him, no matter what it takes. This case has hurt too many people. It's time to bring it to an end. The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. The inquiry committee is planning to impose harsh penalties for your actions. Thank you for the news, Your Honor. Yes, well... Normally this is where the prosecution calls forth a witness. But... this isn't easy to say. You see, there's some concern that Mr. Edgeworth may have, struck a bargain. You think I may have manipulated the witnesses? I didn't say that. It's just, you see, everyone's been talking and... Very well, Your Honor. I have a solution. A solution? That being the case, the prosecution will allow the defense to call forth all further witnesses. What? But there's never been a case example. Undeniably, this is an unusual arrangement, but a very effective one. It would prove that I haven't struck any deals with witnesses.
Well, Miss Wright, what do you say?
Unbelievable.
Edgeworth has found a way to continue the trial.
Very well. The defense accepts the prosecution's proposal.
Then it's settled. The defense may now call forth the next witness.
Mr. Wright, you do realize this is your last chance. If you call the wrong witness, this trial is as good as over. The defense calls... The time has finally come to bring out the real murderer. Damon Gant. The defense calls Damon Gant to the stand.
Damon Gant? What does he have to do with anything?
As the defendant's partner 2 years ago, Mr. Gant has first-hand knowledge of the crime. I feel we should hear what he has to say about it. As luck would have it, he should still be here in the courthouse. He would also be the least likely to have been manipulated by me in any way. Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor?
True. All right. Bailiff, please escort Mr. Gant to the stand.
Witness, please state your name and occupation.
What is this? Some kind of practical joke? I was just on my way to lunch.
Your name and occupation, sir.
Worthy, are you sure you want to do this?
Your name and occupation!
So, you want to play hardball, huh? But please, Mr. Gant. Fine! My name is Damon Gant, and I'm the acting chief of police.
Now then, Chief Gant, the court requires to hear your testimony.
Oh, righto! What's with the grim face?
First, let's clear up this SL9 incident.
Oh, you mean that time when Lana's sister murdered the prosecutor? Personally, I think it's been made pretty clear already.
There are still some things unaccounted for.
Oh, like what?
Like the role you played in all this.
Son, either you're very brave or very foolish. You are aware, of course, that a police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal.
Weapons?
Sure, take my testimony for example. I don't have to give it if I don't want to.
What? Is that true?
I'm afraid so. The chief of police has the right to refuse to testify.
Of course, such an action would carry certain risks.
Don't worry! I'm not here to hinder your trial. Just remember, if this turns out to be a big waste of time, don't say I didn't warn you. Very well. The witness may now begin his testimony. As I recall, Neil and I were questioning him that day. To make a long story short, we slipped up. That power outage didn't help either. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Apparently she had already arranged the crime scene. As you can see, I had nothing to do with the forgery. Is that when Dark was arrested? Him? He was lying on the floor unconscious. When Emma sent Neil flying, it seems Dark bumped his head. I see. Everything seems pretty clear-cut.
If the police chief has the right to refuse to testify, then I better hit him hard and fast. You claim you had nothing to do with the forgery. But I'm afraid that is a claim you can't back up. Explain yourself. Several pieces of evidence were found in your office. Take this list, for example.
That's the list Emma Sky drew her picture on.
This was discovered in your desk. Not only that, but a piece of this jar that was sitting in your office was found inside your safe.
It was found where?
You see, Chief Gant, these articles of evidence uncovered in your office are both concrete proof that you also played a part in the illegal investigation.
Chief Gant. Chief Gant. What is the meaning of this? Oh! Here's a defense attorney who's maybe even rather worthy.
So you admit to it then, that you were involved in the forgery.
Who, me? Or do you mean you?
Me? Why would I have anything to do with that?
Well, you were the one who snuck into my office when you found this evidence. Prosecutors aren't the only ones capable of forging evidence, you know. Defense attorneys can do so too. Isn't that right, Righto?
However, Detective Gumshoe was present during the investigation.
Worthy, my boy. Not even detectives are exempt from the law. Rest assured, Dick will receive his due punishment.
What? If Detective Gumshoe's salary drops any further, he'll end up paying to work.
Yes, well, in the light of the detective's presence, please give us your testimony regarding these pieces of evidence found in your office, and their relation to the forgery that took place at the crime scene. My! Kids these days no longer know how to put two and two together. Let's see. What was it now? A jar fragment and a list. For all I know, you could have planted them in my office. Anyway, you can't prove when those pieces of evidence were discovered. If they were found after Darg was convicted, then they're worthless. There's no reason I participated in a forgery. Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way. Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor?
When investigating the crime scene, you should have been more careful to observe protocol. You do understand I am the chief of police, right? There will be consequences. Oh. Indeed. I believe I will press charges, so you won't make the same mistake again. My apologies, Chief, but would you mind waiting until tomorrow for that? Today is, well, you know. Alright, Haji. In return, though. I know. That place, right?
Huh? What are these guys, telepathic? Hold on. I got the music for this. Okay. Before I get any more copyright notices. Really, Chief Gant? At the very least, there is one very large benefit you could have reaped from all this.
Oh, I wasn't aware. What is this benefit?
That would, of course, be the position you have, Chief of Police.
Oh?
The resolution of the SL9 incident secured your promotion to Chief. That in itself is sufficient motive.
Ho 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 ho! That's a good one.
Huh?
Do you really think I'm not incompetent?
What do you mean?
Even without that case, I was already in line to become the next chief. The resolution of the SL9 merely sped up the inevitable a little.
Is that true, Edgeworth? Yes. He was going to be made chief anyway.
Yeah. Be careful when pointing that finger. You might wind up being the one pointed at.
So that means there's only one possible motivation for you to commit forgery. If you didn't do it for yourself, then you did for someone else.
Don't be silly, Worthy. You know me better than that. There are only 3 people I look out for. Me, myself, and I. There. It's out in the open now. Haji, would you mind if I change my testimony a little? By all means, please do.
Nothing in it for you?
Sorry, but the only person I care for is yours truly. That girl, Lana's little sister, was it? If you think I felt sorry for her, you better think again.
You're right. You don't feel sorry for anyone.
Be tough on crime and tough on people. That's how I was raised.
You seem to be lax enough on yourself, though.
Ho 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 ho! Oh, that's a good one, Worthy.
Could there have been something in it for him? Given his selfishness, would he have helped someone out? True, you might not help out anyone for their sake. But if it would benefit you, you might decide to assist someone.
Mr. Wright, it appears you're positively determined to betray the chief. As a nice man who likes to lend people a hand.
That's not what I mean.
Very well, I ask, who is this person you believe Chief Gant may have helped forge evidence? Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky. The defendant!
I believe it's quite obvious in the light of circumstances. Emma Sky fell victim to an unfortunate series of events. Who would want to help her more than her own sister Lana? As for Chief Gant, he would also have a reason to help Lana if she asked him to. That reason, of course, is self-profit.
Self-profit? What do you mean?
Excuse me. After the SL9 incident was resolved, Lana was appointed chief prosecutor at the prosecutor's office. This person who arranged this job change was you, Chief Gant.
But how would he profit from all of this?
He would be able to use the chief prosecutor as his puppet. Essentially, he would acquire unchecked authority over all investigations.
Do you mean to tell me that despite the chief's formidable appearance, he plays with puppets? Oh, wait. You must mean puppet as in someone forced to doing his bidding. Never mind.
Admit it, Chief. You assisted Lana Sky in forging evidence. Your motive, to appoint her as chief prosecutor so you could control her.
Righto, my boy. You have quite an imagination. Let me ask you something.
What?
Do you have any proof of this? That I controlled Lana? For example, is Lana testifying that I've done such a thing?
Lana. She's keeping quiet to protect Emma. There's no way she testified against Gant.
I'm afraid without any proof, this all amounts to nothing more than mere conjecture.
Unless that is also what happened in this incident.
This incident? Which one would that be?
Of course I'm talking about the murder of Detective Bruce Goodman. The chief prosecutor has been acting strange throughout this entire trial. Almost as if someone has been controlling her.
Worthy, you better watch your tongue. I wouldn't want you to get hurt. Just what do you mean?
What he means, Your Honor, is that Chief Gant is involved in the murder of Detective Goodman. Not only that, but the Chief is now making Lana take the rap to cover up his involvement.
What? What? Order! 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 I said order! Mr. Wright, you can't be serious.
Huh?
This is an affront to make the highest ranking officer in our law enforcement agency to accuse the chief of police of blackmail and murder. It's impossible.
Your Honor, I was merely reiterating what Mr. Edgeworth said in an easier to understand language. It's too late, Mr. Wright. There's no turning back for us now. It looks like he's the one who's decided to go through with this.
Can you prove this, Mr. Wright? That the chief, a high-ranking officer of the law, is involved in this murder?
Good question. Regardless of his rank or title, Chief Gant is just a man. The question is he the criminal? I believe the evidence will tell.
I see. Alright then, show us the evidence that ties Chief Gant to the murder of Detective Goodman. Just remember, it better be good. This is the ID card list.
Yes, the one that shows who entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. There was one ID on the list that we couldn't determine the owner yesterday. 777777.
Sorry, but there's no way you can prove that's my card number.
It's your number.
What? How do you know that?
The safe in Chief Gant's office requires a code to open. A 7-digit code.
7 digits? You don't mean.
I'm afraid so, Your Honor. The code was 77777777. The same as the remaining ID card number on that list. Chief Gant, you entered the evidence room on the day of the crime!
Order! Order! Chief Gant, what do you have to say? Nothing. The defense's search of my office was in violation of regulations.
And I will demand Mr. Wright be punished to the maximum extent of the law. But right now, this court demands an explanation from you about the use of this ID card.
Chief Gant, so you admit it. You entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. What about it? I'm the chief of police. Whether it's the evidence room or the bathroom. What's the difference? I can go anywhere I want.
Tell me, when you enter the room, were you alone?
I always go to the bathroom alone, as I do with the evidence room.
Detective Goodman wouldn't have happened to be with you that day, would he?
Of course not. Why would he be? I hadn't seen him in days.
You hadn't seen him in days, Chief Gant? I'm afraid you've just undone yourself. On that day, you had to have met with Detective Goodman.
Well, what do you mean? This trial's purpose is to determine Lana Sky's guilt.
No, it isn't, Your Honor. The trial's purpose is to determine the truth. If Chief Gant met the victim on the day of the crime, then we need to determine the one thing. What transpired during that meeting?
In that case, Mr. Wright, I'm gonna have to ask you for evidence. Show us proof that the victim went to meet Chief Gant on the day of the crime.
Detective Goodman lost his ID card on the day of the crime. Or to be more accurate, Jake Marshall stoned it. So, Detective Goodman filled out a lost item report. He would have had to give that report to the Chief of Police.
Yet you are still in possession of that report. Which means you can't be sure he filed it.
He filed it. How do I know, you ask? Because he needed to enter the evidence room that day.
He needed to.
Yes, to transfer the evidence out.
Oh!
Detective Goodman took the form to you, Chief Gant. Then, you accompanied the detective to the evidence room.
I accompanied him.
There's no other way the murderer and Detective Goodman could have entered the room.
Hold on. Let me guess what you're going to say next. I, the Chief of Police, murdered poor Goodman.
Exactly.
But wait! The Chief didn't necessarily need to accompany him to the evidence room. He could have just lent him his ID card. Yes. Now that you mention it, I believe I might have done something of the sort.
Sorry, but that's not possible. According to the record, your card was only used once. But you showed us your ID card earlier. If you had really lent it to Detective Goodman, it would have been found on his body.
No! Chief Gant, you didn't.
The murder was most likely committed on the spur of the moment. No one in their right mind would have choose the police department as a place to commit murder. After the murder, you contacted Lana at the prosecutor's office. Why else? To dispose of Detective Goodman's body. However, the victim's body was discovered in the prosecutor's parking lot. How did he manage to move it there?
I was at the police department the entire day, you know.
And everyone's aware that Lana stayed at the prosecutor's office after that ceremony. Everyone except me, it seems. Still, you're the chief of police. You have an entire police force at your disposal.
Oh, so you think I just ordered an officer to do it? Hey you, take this dead body over to the prosecutor's office. I don't think so.
Chief Gant, you left all the evidence we need to prove how you moved the body to the prosecutor's office. And all this time I thought it was useless clue just to take up space.
How could the chief have moved the body? Mr. Wright, show us this evidence.
To move the victim's body, Chief Gant used this. This is how he moved Detective Goodman's body.
What's that? A screwdriver. But what does this have to do with the case?
Mr. Edgeworth, think back to the day of the crime. What is this screwdriver doing here? It's here because... I was asked to go by Chief Gant, no less. He told me he wanted me to keep it at the prosecutor's office. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back to the prosecutor's office. After the ceremony ended that day, I didn't plan to return to the prosecutor's office. But you did, because Chief Gant asked you to. You mean The body was found in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. I think it's obvious what happened. The body was moved by that car.
Detective Goodman's body was carried in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car.
Yes. Unless, of course, you have another explanation, Chief. Why else would you have asked Mr. Edgeworth to carry evidence from a closed case? There's only one plausible explanation. To transport the body to your accomplice. To Miss Lana Skye.
Order! 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 What is going on here? Is there no room for rebuttal for the defense's outrageous accusations?
Think back to the photograph Miss Starr took at the prosecutor's office. This was not a photo of the body being stuffed in the trunk to be taken away. It was exactly the opposite. This is a photo of the body being taken from the trunk.
Chief Gant, please say something. I believe. Your time's up. My time's up. Sorry, Righto, but I'm having lunch with the District Attorney General after this. We have to get going if we're going to make it in time for the early bird special.
But the cross-examination isn't finished yet.
Remember what I told you earlier. The police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal.
Weapons?
Like the right to refuse to testify. I'm invoking that now. What? That's not a right to casually invoke. There are certain risks to consider.
So you're going to just run away after all this?
Run away? Don't make me laugh, Worthy. I stabbed old Goodman. That's what you're saying, right? But if you had any conclusive evidence, you would have presented it by now.
Well,
You think I had Lana to dispose of the body? If so, then show me your proof and get it over with. I'll say it again, Mr. Wright. Damon Gant is the current chief of police. This court will not tolerate any accusations against him without concrete proof. Well, Mr. Wright?
Your Honor?
Do you have any concrete proof? Proof that Chief Gant murdered Detective Goodman and made Miss Skye dispose of the body.
Do I have any concrete proof? It's no use showing evidence I'm not even sure of myself. No, Your Honor. At present, I have no conclusive evidence.
See ya, G. In that case, this court is forced to penalize you for your allegations against the chief.
What?
I don't gamble unless the stakes are high. It seems that Lady Luck was on my side again today. Okay, IG, I'll leave the rest to you. I warned you earlier, Mr. Wright. This is an affront to a senior officer in our nation's law enforcement agency.
Ah! Lady Luck, Maybe we shouldn't have a word with her.
Mr. Edgeworth, what do you mean?
There's one lady who knows the real truth behind this trial. We haven't yet had the honor of hearing her testimony.
A lady who knows the truth.
Another witness. In the absence of conclusive evidence, the only other method of proof is testimony.
But Chief Gant has invoked his right to refuse to testify.
There's still someone else. One more witness who can answer all the questions raised in this trial. Someone right in this very room.
Mr. Edgeworth, who is this person?
Why are you asking me, Your Honor? Have you forgotten? The defense is the one calling the witnesses today.
Mr. Wright, does such a witness exist?
She may not be willing to tell the truth, but we can't just stop now. Yes, Your Honor. The defense calls forth.
The defendant? Miss Lost Sky?
She was in the underground parking lot at 5:15 p.m. on February 21st. Her task, to dispose of the victim's body, in accordance with a certain someone's orders.
Mr. Edgeworth.
The prosecution has no objections, Your Honor.
Very well. The court will now take its final recess for the day. In 15 minutes, we will reconvene to hear the defendant's testimony. This court is now in Huh? Chief Gant! I thought you were going to eat. Listen good, Lana.
He's talking to Lana.
I don't think you need me to tell you this, but if you accept Mr. Wright's claim, there will be a terrible consequences. That's right. Your sister will be found guilty for Neil Marshall's murder.
This isn't good.
Of course, you never support such outrageous claims anyway. Right. Just something to think about. Alright then, I've got a lunch date to meet. Okay, if there aren't any further objections, this court is now in recess.
Looks like we managed to stay in on the game.
Yeah. Thanks for your help, Edgeworth. Yeah, Chief! He's something else, hey pals? Detective Gumshoe. Yeah, I'm not a detective anymore. Oh yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, don't worry. Yeah, I've already decided that they're decided where to work now. At your office! My office? Sure. I'll take place of that top-knotted girl that used to work with you.
Could he mean Maya?
Yeah, still. Looks like we're all out of moves now. Chief Gant's done it again. How's it that he always gets the upper hand? It's not fair he has the right to refuse to testify.
Sit down, Wright. Remember what the judge said.
But Chief, that is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered.
Risks? What do you mean by that?
It's simple. If the chief police refuses to testify, the opposite holds true. Emma, are you okay?
Yeah, when I came to, I was in the medical office. I've been listening to the trial from the gallery.
So she heard everything that's been going on. Emma, sorry for what I said before.
No, don't be. It was the truth. But, you know, it's funny. I almost feel somehow relieved.
Relieved?
Yeah, now I finally know what really happened. To think that all this time, my sister was being blackmailed by that terrible man. She did it all just to protect me.
Ever since her appointment as chief prosecutor, everyone knew her. Said that she changed. Perhaps it was easier that way for her.
And what do you mean?
What do you think I mean? To follow Chief Gant's orders. She must have shut herself up deep inside. To force herself to do anything and everything the Chief told her to do. That must be why she became so cold.
It's all my fault. It was all because I murdered Mr. Marshall.
Hey, don't go blaming yourself now. If you want to blame anyone, blame society, pal.
Chief Camp may be able to fool everyone else with his forgery, but he can't fool my memory. I remember now. I knocked Mr. Marshall into that armor.
I see.
Well, we better get back. It's time for the final act.
Emma, why don't you wait?
No, I'm gonna go with you. I want to be there when Laura tells the truth.
Let's go, Wright. It's time to end this. Alright, so thank you guys so very much for watching this episode. If you liked this video, hit that like button, and if you want to stay up to date for more content on the channel and to have regular updates, hit that subscribe button. And as always, I will see you guys in the next episode, so please take care, and as always, have yourself a wonderful day.